Hello and welcome back to Creative Peggy Bing. My name is Kasia. I am your host and I'm very excited for a very special unboxing today because I got a very special pair of wild bettas, a different species, Betta Imbellis from Franks Bettas. He is very famous for his beautiful show line of wild as well as his conservation efforts. Now here is a local habitat for the Betta Imbellis that Frank maintains. What he does is he documents the habitat, he measures pH, temperature, does a lot of filming and photography, but he also does some small scale collection where he collects some of these fish, breeds them, and then re-releases them back into the wild. These fish are not for sale, but for his conservation project, and he explains in the next clip why he does that.
Sooner or later the farmer will probably dig all this out to be like a rice field altogether. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch some fish, hopefully breed them, come and re-release here, and then move some of the spawn into another habitat where they might have a better chance of surviving and continuing their bloodline.
When you purchase fish from Frank, not only are you supporting a small family-owned business, you are also helping support a small conservation effort for these local wild-type bettas. Another way that you can get involved is checking out the CARE's Species Preservation Program, and they work with hobbyists to help preserve species all over the world. Let's get into the unboxing and find out if they did okay in their crazy journey from overseas.
So here is the box that I got. It's so early in the morning, I just woke up, but the box came. This is the water that I prepared last night so I can be ready. And let's see how these guys are doing. So everything is packed pretty tight. I'm gonna float these guys for a bit so I can temperature acclimate. Everyone's alive, which is very promising. So can't tell what anyone looks like, but they're alive, so yay. I'll come back in a few minutes after they temperature acclimate. So both of the Imbellis are actually in here. They're actually doing really well. They're quite spunky, and this one is starting to color up surprisingly fast. I didn't expect them to color up because usually wilds do get scared and it takes a few days for them to adjust, but I gave them a really heavy tenon setup. I aged the water and I put a lot of stuff in here so they feel secure and they can't see each other. So looks like the male is already kind of said hi and he's feeling a little more confident. Female is in here as well, and she's swimming around exploring. There's a ton of glare, you can't really see, but they're gonna stay here and I'm not gonna disturb them. I'm gonna leave them alone. Might offer them a little bit of live baby brine shrimp to see if they'll take it, or I'll see if I can hand feed them some bigger brine shrimp, like the frozen kind. Oh, I'm so sleepy. I'm not a morning person, but I got these guys so early. I got them way earlier than I was supposed to in the morning, but that's a good thing. That means less time in a box and more time in their temporary quarantine setup. Oh, you can see the lady. She seems to be kind of okay with her little habitat and exploring. They seem to like this. I think if I put them in a tank, they would have probably freaked out, which is why having this quarantine setup might have been a good idea because it's small. It's similar to what they were probably used to back overseas, and it's very secure, and there's plants and Indian almond leaves in there. There's things to make them feel very safe, and they're carded, so I think that'd be very good for them.
Here are some clips throughout the few weeks that I've had them. You can kind of see that they started out quite shy, kind of not really sure of the environment, but very quickly they started to not only warm up to me, and get comfortable with me feeding them, but started to show some breeding behaviors. Here the female is exhibiting breeding stripes, and once she sees by the seashore, I can't words, once she sees the male, they get really excited and start to color up even more. Now that is not even their full coloration. They do get a bit more darker once they get even more comfortable. This was about halfway through, but it was exciting to see that they were just adjusting pretty well to the environment that I have provided them. Now keep in mind that jarring is kind of a lot of work. You definitely have to keep up with your water changes. You have to find a way to heat them. In my case, I was using reptile heat cables. Oh, there's a bubble nest right here. The male is ready to spawn. And you have to make sure that you age your water ahead of time, because these guys are a bit more sensitive to the water parameters than my domestic bettas are. Just a lot of work goes into it, but it definitely pays off in the end. And these guys are just beautiful, especially the male. I've never owned a betta that had such perfect finnage ever in my life. Like, I am amazed by how perfect his fins are, and I apologize for the poor filming quality and the shakiness. I was trying to avoid the glare and film with my phone, but I couldn't really set these guys up in a tank with a strong light to film them just yet, because I have to give them time to acclimate. So I was kind of trying to film them when they got excited, when they colored up for me, and I try not to disturb them too much because they are more shy. Here they are in a beanie container, so I was washing the previous jar and I put them in here for one day, then tomorrow they were going to go back into the gallon jar. I put them by some natural lighting in hopes that maybe I can see their coloration better, but they do definitely get rotated between a variety of different containers. I don't think they seem to mind because I made sure to keep everything consistent by always including Indian almond leaves. And here is where I got really excited, because this was the day that the male really colored up for me. He got really dark and really happy. That, I believe, is when I moved them into the critter keepers, the small sized ones, which is where they are currently. And once again, the lighting is not very good because I am filming this in very little lighting because I don't want to make these guys uncomfortable. So you can't even see the full extent of how beautiful they are. And if you see any of the social media posts that Frank does, he films all of his fish in natural lighting and they look gorgeous. You can actually see some of them on Instagram as well as his website, so you can really see them at their full glory. But this little boy, he's so cute, he's so spunky, and I love him, and I hope that you do too. I'll be updating you on the progression of this pair, and hopefully we'll be seeing them spawning in a few months. Here is their current setup. They are in the small critter keepers because while I do like using these gallon jars, they are quite tall, and these critter keepers are longer than they are tall, so I think it creates a better habitat for these guys. I've got a lot of Indian almond leaves on the bottom, got some plants inside as well. I have a lid to make sure that these guys don't jump out. Here's the girl. The male is right here, and so far they are doing well. They're adjusting, they're starting to darken up, and I think they like their temporary quarantine setup until they get moved into their new tank. If you are interested in learning more about wild betta species, I really recommend this heavy book right here. This book, I apologize for the glare, is amazing. It is super thick and it will show you all the bettas. Let's open a random page. This is betta species, Yao Koi, Betta Sengalanog. I can't even pronounce them all, but they go all over all of them. This is a great resource, and this is where I've been getting my information. It's kind of random plug for a pretty cool book. You could get it on Amazon. I'm gonna link a link in the description down below. It is a expensive book, but it is a very thick book. It is big and it is hardcover, and it's got a ton of information in it. So I think if you can save up for it, if you can afford it, I think it's worth it. Recommend. 10 out of 10. It's great. So thanks for watching my video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you care about wild bettas and are excited about them just a little bit more, as I am slowly starting to be. I'm predominantly a cichlid person. I really like cichlids, and I like domestic bettas. I've never been that much into wild bettas. I never really cared until I started kind of getting introduced, and you know, it takes one, and the Mahachai started it, and now the Imbellis. I don't really know if I'm gonna get into any more, but I'm excited, you know, about these two, and I hope you're excited too. And yeah, just happy. I'm just happy. Just happy. Don't even know what to say. I guess I should end this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video helpful or meaningful in any way, share it with your friends so more people can know about wild bettas. And yeah, on that note, I'm gonna go and see you in the next video. Bye!